like, finally she's using the dragons, because otherwise, like, most of the time they're just like an accessory.
Yeah, the dragons are there, but
finally she's burning some stuff.
I know a lot of the listeners out there and a lot of the viewers will want to talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I have to hold my hands up. Already said not seen it, but Stevie, you
I've seen it all.
Yeah,
I know my game. I know a bit of Game of Thrones.
so maybe you can have a little Game of Thrones chat then.
You just leave.
I'll just observe and try and imagine it.
Well, we can ask the obvious question at the start. How did that role come about for you?
Through my agent, an audition, loads of people went for it and that. But at the time, I was a big fan of the show as well.
So it was season 6 you were on, yeah.
So by the time that came round, I was like super into the show, and it was really exciting when it came about.
And season 6, like, again, don't know much about it, but that feels like when it was in its pomp, wasn't it? Like, because a lot of people say maybe it tailed off towards the end.
They say after the last 2 after that is where people didn't.
How many series were there then?
8.
Oh, so 6 was like the height of it then.
6 was huge.
yeah.
The stuff that was happening in 6 was where it was kind of getting to a peak. Like, stuff's about to happen.
Oh.
And then
they made the mistake of getting me in 6, because then it's hard to follow.
That's basically, once you were in it, all downhill.
I love it.
So Game of Thrones was also known for filming in some pretty incredible locations.
Yeah.
You filmed in the city of Bravos, I want to say.
Yep.
Where
Which
did they
isn't
shoot?
real.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
where did they shoot that?
That was in Girona, in Spain. So, it was in 2 places. Obviously, you haven't seen it.
No.
But I'm playing an actor. Like, I'm in a theatre.
I've seen your clips,
okay,
yeah.
So we're doing like a parody on stuff that's actually happening in that world. But obviously, like, the public view Tyrion as this villainous guy because they're told that he's responsible for certain deaths and all that, which he isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing like a wrongfully villainous version of him.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's this stupid question, but you're playing. You're like acting as an actor in it, aren't you?
It's like Inception.
Yeah. So is it? You're having to kind of act a bit shitter then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is that right?
And then, like, I sort of get to do 2 different things because I'm acting. The bits backstage, I'm just like playing the guy,
Yeah.
and then I'm playing that guy acting when I'm on stage. It's really weird.
Was that difficult to do?
It was a little strange, yeah.
It's impressive though.
Thanks. No, yeah, it was all right. Yeah. I just had fun with it, to be honest. Like, yeah, it was just quite fun.
So one of the first scenes when you rip the woman's top, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold on, where's the question there, Jack?
You were like, I've seen the boobies. Like, I never watched it, but I've seen the boobies.
What is the question you were
there
going
was no
for there?
question.
No, there was no question.
Just wanted to make you aware.
Confirming that there are boobs.
Yeah, there are boobs in it. Yeah, there are a lot of boobs in Game of Thrones, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a fair few scenes.
In the Games of the Thrones.
You know House
Such a knobhead, mate.
of the Dragon's out now as well.
What's that one then?
It's a prequel to Game of Thrones. It's set a couple of 100 years before, I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So is that like the Better Call Saul for the?
Yeah. If you want to go, yeah.
Good way
There you go. You're figuring things out.
I haven't seen the House of Dragons yet.
Oh, haven't you?
No, not yet.
I'm enjoying it. It's good.
No
But,
spoilers.
Quickly, I didn't answer your question. So the bits on stage were in Girona in Spain,
Yeah.
but the bits off stage, it looks like we just go behind a curtain, but they were actually filmed in a freezing cold barn in Belfast.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was filmed in 2 locations because the backstage bit, they just had some farm that looked good for a backstage bit, and then the onstage bit, it was
That seems like more effort to get you all. Couldn't they have just built a room in Spain?
Apparently not. No.
See, I do find that I'm just going to sound dumb here, but I do find that incredible that they will go through all of that. If that was me, this is why I'm not a film director, but if that was me, I'd just do it around the back.
Game of Thrones is filmed all over the place.
Yeah.
Malta, Ireland, Spain.
Yeah.
Do you think, you know me well, do you think if I tried, I could enjoy Game of Thrones?
I think you could potentially like it up until the dragons come in.
Well, that's like the best.
He can't deal with anything that couldn't happen in real life, so the dragons aren't in it very much at first.
If there was a dragon in Joker, I'd have switched off.
Well, that wouldn't have made sense. Yeah, it would
have been a very different film. Yeah. Halfway through, he just turns into a dragon.
So, Leigh, what's your opinion on the ending then, on the last few series? Because
I don't know, man. It didn't end how I expected. I think it could have ended cooler.
Right.
I mean, even the writer agrees with that. The actual writer of the books.
A lot of people complained when, what's her name? Daenerys. When Daenerys went all bad and like burning stuff, everyone was complaining about that. But I thought that was brilliant. I wanted to see her go bad. Like, and it was kind of like alluding to her going bad at certain moments. You know what I mean? She wasn't always good, and like, you know, she's the daughter of the Mad King. Do you know what I mean? Like, it made sense that she went a bit mad too, and I thought it was awesome. Like, finally, she's using the dragons, because otherwise, like, most of the time, they're just like an accessory.
Yeah, the dragons are there, but
finally, she's burning some stuff.
I have no idea what you're on about, but
it does. Yeah, it goes all a bit strange towards the end. But I mean, I think some of the actors might agree with that as well. I believe Arya Stark, Maisie Williams said something the other day about it not being great towards the end.
Is it true that, like, because it's based on the books, in it?
Yeah, he never completed the final part of the books, which is why they had to carry on.
Why did he not complete it?
Lazy. I don't know.
There's a whole thing behind that as well.
Nothing
he
happened
just took
to him
too long.
then?
No, he's still knocking about now.
Right.
Still hasn't done it.
Oh wow.
But the House of the Dragon is based on books as well that have been written.
So the book. So it was written up to like series 6 and 7.
Yeah,
And he didn't. And then the 8th series didn't follow the books because there was no.
somewhere around that. Yeah,
No, I think Dan and Dave, like the writers, I think they did work alongside him to get the ending. Like, I think it still is the ending that he's going for in his books.
Right.
As far as I know.
not now. Now that you've seen the backlash, you'll probably go, I'm just going to change that.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
You were a big fan of Game of Thrones before you were in it.
Yeah.
What was that like being on set then? Was that pretty surreal?
Oh, yeah, it was wicked, man. It was really cool.
I bet.
Very exciting. And working with like Richard E. Grant and stuff was proper fun. That guy's.
You've worked with some
Legend.
fucking huge names, haven't you?
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a bit later on, I reckon. What was the question I had there? Oh yeah, obviously was this? I know you've done like Celebrity Juice, and obviously we spoke about Dick and Dom and stuff like that. But Game of Thrones, would you consider that to be your first like major role in a big blockbuster, or?
No, I'd say it was a Norwegian Oreos advert. I didn't know.
Have you actually done a Norwegian Oreo advert?
Yeah. Well, it was like a Norwegian chocolate bar that had Oreos in it, so like even shitter. But it was brilliant. I played a troll who's like snuck into this couple's house and like nicked their chocolate, and then they opened the cupboard and I'm in there. He's like, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it was fun. Proper acting, man.
I love it. So did Game of Thrones change your life a lot then?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's probably is the first big one. Yeah, that was the game changer, I think. Yeah.
Were people coming up to you on the streets and stuff after that?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I get people looking and like nervous to ask in case they get it wrong. Like, I'm like, what, you think we all look the same?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and because I always dress differently to all my characters and stuff. In Game of Thrones, I had like a curly wig on and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really like look that much like me in it.
Yeah. Fair enough.